Welcome back to Guess What Day It Is. Today we're going to talk about the item that almost got me kicked off of eBay. So welcome back to the channel. That's right. An item I listed on eBay did not meet their guidelines. And what was that item? It was the box and feathers for a set of jarts. It wasn't the jarts themselves, it wasn't the pokey bits, the whatever you want to call it, the actual dart part that actually is what impales you. And I did do a little research beforehand. There were other sellers that did sell the box and the pieces. So we may have to break it up into individual things where we have the box and the feathers or something like that. They are worth an extreme amount of money, which is surprising. But if you can't really buy them, then I can kind of understand. So before we do go over the numbers, let's take a look at the booth and see how it looks. So here's the booth for August 15th. Everything is pretty much the same. We didn't really sell a whole lot of stuff over the last couple weeks. We do have some new additions. We've got a nice Atari Junior with joysticks and games. We've got a TI-99. This is a newer one. It's not the classic black and silver. It's a nice ROM cartridges, everything you need. Timex Sinclair. We did sell two phones, which is great. The Contempra and the black Model 500 are both gone. Victrola is still here. Victor, I'm sorry. Two Sylvania speakers are still here. It did take a while to move the big Sonys, so I have hope for these. Still have our Allied speakers, and we also have the Fisher receiver. Got the Concept receiver. I did move it from the shelf above down because it is extremely heavy. I had a fear that somebody was going to pick it up that high and just drop it. Got two Realistic speakers still here. We've got our Scott receiver. I may have to move that up in a more prominent space. VHS rewinder, Pioneer CD player. I'm telling you, I think this just wants to come home with me. Got two beer signs. The Lowenbrau sign is still here, and the Pabst Blue Ribbon calendar. We have our Camel mirror and the Blue Nun sign as well. Got the Kmart plate. Hopefully that sells around Christmas time. It's kind of cheesy, but straight out of the 80s, very vintage. This thing, this little stove keeps losing the door. I think that's gonna come back home with us and maybe be sold on eBay. Got some changes on this side. Still have our Patrolman, that 16mm camera, and the RCA little stereo. We've added some CBs, some pretty nice ones. Got a Realistic Navajo. It's more of a bass unit. Cobra 26. Then we also have a nice Midland CB as well. All tested, ready to go. We've got the Technics graphic equalizer. I might have this priced a little high. I'm not sure. Looking online, $200 to $250. That might be high. The Technics turntable is still here. And our toy department. We need to add some toys to it. It's looking kind of thin. We do have quite a few items to get up here. I've got some Transformers that need to come up here for my own private collection. Coming around here, got the Magic set. That may go on eBay here at some point in the near future. I think we're pretty stocked on DVDs. I don't want to go too much more than what we have here. Sometimes it can be overwhelming when you see a giant stack of DVDs or CDs or records, unless you are specifically going for that. One of the coolest items in the booth is this Sony Trinitron 20-inch CRT TV. It does have an issue receiving RF signals, but should be good for your older Nintendos and such. We got some new in-package McDonald's toys. We've got a bunch of other McDonald's toys too that eventually will get displayed here. So the booth's filling up a little bit. Stay tuned, we have some Halloween stuff on the way. So let's go over the numbers for the past week. We sold a whopping 3 items since the last time we talked. One would be the Coors clock sign sold. That sold for 20% off. We were asking $50, it sold for $40. The next thing we sold was the Western Electric. It was a black phone, fairly old phone. That sold for 20% off as well. We were asking $45. That sold for $36. And we sold the Contempra phone, which is kind of a take on the Princess phone. So that sold at full price. So the 20% off was actually a store-wide sale for 20% off anything over $50. I was really expecting a lot more traction with that one. I was kind of dreading the fact that it was 20% off. That's a lot of margin to lose. But really, to sell 2 items, that's not really strong. So that brought the pay period to $415 in gross sales, which is pretty light. Most of those sales were between August 2nd and August 9th. So really, it was the back half of that 2-week period that most of the sales came on board. It is what it is. We're hitting back to school time, so I am excited. We are going to pick up a load of Halloween stuff here this coming weekend. We're going to swap out a shelf that we have here at the house with one of the middle shelves we're not allowed to have. We're going to get some of that Halloween stuff displayed, hopefully by the end of August. I know that's kind of late when it comes to retail. Halloween stuff is all out there as we speak. So another aspect of the business, we did sell a Polaroid camera kit. We were going to put it up at the booth, but my son brought up a valid point that there's a lot of little items that could easily be put in your pocket that might be kind of valuable and rare. So we decided to list it on eBay. So that sold for $152.50. We also tried to list our jarts, not the whole thing, because I know you can't do that on eBay, which is ridiculous. Don't get me started on this kind of stuff. I know full well that jarts are kind of dangerous, but we played with them. It was fine. I don't know anybody that got impaled or stabbed. Anyway, I digress. So I did list those without the Pokebits, and they were taken down from eBay. I was given a pretty sharp warning on that. So what we're probably going to have to do is split it up. I had everything bundled in the box, so new in box, or the box was new. We also had all the accessories minus just the jarts. So I'm going to separate them and sell them more individually. So I think we'll be okay with that. So between the two, I mean, we're still about $250 to $300 per week. Remember, my goal right now is to get to $500 in gross sales each week. We're a little over halfway to that mark, and it could just be this season. I am looking forward to the back half of the year because I do believe the holidays are going to drive some sales. We have a ton of Halloween stuff, and we have a ton of Christmas stuff, and I even have an aluminum Christmas tree, which that's going on eBay because that's worth $400 or $500 or something like that. So If you're looking forward to that kind of stuff, if you like Halloween stuff, and if you like Christmas stuff, stay tuned. Remember to hit like and subscribe. We're going to have lots of cool stuff coming up here very shortly. So once again, I really appreciate you watching. Thank you very much. And we'll see you on Friday when we go through our tech stuff on guess what day it is.